Hello, and yes, if you're here for my short form content, the world is real. No, I didn't build everything creative at 3 a.m. Well, for some of it I did, but then I built it here too. Welcome to my Forever World series, The Last Laugh. And this is where everything started. Just me, an empty field, and absolutely zero self control. Let me walk you through what I've done because a lot has happened and way too fast. This was the very first thing I built. A crane for emotional support and a mine entrance to get stuff. Then I needed some string and XP for enchanting, beds, and, my scaffolding addiction. And just like every great Minecraft player before me, I trapped scared villagers to create an iron farm because mining iron is a lifestyle I refuse to participate in. And one thing you're really going to notice is this world was not built on efficiency, it was built on pure impulsive decisions. And what better way to demonstrate that than my second farm being a creeper farm for not only TNT but rockets because walking is for peasants. And then I built this magnificent sugarcane farm, beat the dragon, found an elytra, the typical boring Minecraft paperwork. But the next part is where the world truly changed. This spot right here is one of the most magnificent spots in the entire world and what changed this world forever. I, of course, am talking about the square hole, 27 by 27, all the way down to bedrock. And this is when I knew the world was going to be different. Not only did I complete a mundane task that took a ton of time, but now I had the building blocks to build whatever I wanted, both figuratively and literally. To ensure I was able to transport these new blocks efficiently and make sure my tools were repaired, I built an Enderman farm and a Shulker farm. And now that all the basics were out of the way, I knew it was time to get building my city. So I built a Guardian farm to ensure that I had all of the blocks in the color palette that I liked to build. Following that, I went and licked the bowl clean on a trial chamber to make sure I had all the waxed copper I will ever need for this project. But before I got started, I know I needed ink sacs for Dark Prismarine. And little did I know that draining this lake would be the single most important decision I ever made, because it laid the foundation for what has become the main city of this world. So far, the city contains 9 buildings and multiple farms. Let's finish catching you up so we can move on to the main build of this episode, the centerpiece of the city. And over here on the right, you'll see the ink farm, bamboo farm, and bee farm. As we turn to the left, you're going to see the super smelter, gazebo, and bath salt farms. Finally, you'll see the passing factory with a mud farm, brewing, and wool farm. Finally, rounding out, you're going to see the villager crop farm on the right here, which finishes the current city. So now that you're all caught up, that brings us to today. The world has farms, infrastructure, and a surprisingly concerning amount of bees. But it needs something iconic. I need something central that feels like the heart of this city. So now we're going to build a massive tree, and inside of it are going to be 2 of the most important and crucial farms going forward in this world. So without further ado, here we go. So I have this idea of building a big tree right over here with a couple farms in it. I think if I build it over here, it's really going to help break up what's going on in the city on this side. And, I've got some farms over here, and it's going to be right by the water. So if I can terraform this area, I think it's going to be a really, really good spot to make a focal point. And then when you're on the square hole, you're going to be able to see it peak just over the smokestacks here. So let's get terraforming. And now that that's done, I think we are in a good spot. I may fill in some of this area and some of this area to try to make it more full. But I think this is going to be a really, really good plot of land to start our tree. Editing monk here. Yeah, so I lied. I hate the way that looks, and we are terraforming and filling in some of those areas. And that should do it. Let's see. Oh, I'm liking that so much more now. Yeah. So this is going to be our plot of land for the tree. We're definitely going to come fill in some of this area, but I do like this area a lot, and I think it's going to give us a great canvas to start. And start we shall. I'm going to terraform a little bit more of this land, and we're going to build the first of 2 farms going into this build. If you're going to notice in this series, I build the interior farms typically before I build the exterior buildings because I like that style of knowing what sizes I need, and it takes a little bit less planning in my head. So that's how we're going to go about this, and let's get the first farm rolling. As you can see here, I'm terraforming a little bit. I try to keep up with the normal curvature of the world, and now here we are starting the farm. If you have an idea of what farm this is, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know what you think, and don't forget to hit subscribe while you're down there. Also, in the description of this video, you are going to see all of the farms that I've built and their tutorials from their respective creators. Shout out to them for being so smart. And if you couldn't tell, we did build an automatic tree farm that works by if you turn this lever on, the TNT duper goes on. And if you flip this lever off, it will drop me bone meal. So all I gotta do is sit here. We get trees, just like that. Now look, I know I said this was going to be 2 crucial farms inside of this build, and there will be, but the second farm is going to be postponed and moved out, and I am going to be adding a bone meal moss farm to be feeding the bone meal into this so I can AFK it for even longer periods, get more wood, and build better builds. That will be in the next build. The farm that I discussed earlier will be in episode 3. I have a super special plan for episode 2, so I hope you guys are super excited. But without further ado, let's start this moss farm. So fortunately, I had a lot of the blocks for the redstone clock ready to go. That part is easy, but now we have the issue of a giant materials list that I was not expecting of materials I don't have. So let's go inefficiently collect a bunch of blocks and get ready to build this. For starters, we're going to come over to the square hole and get some moss, and I think this is going to be a good start as we need a ton of this, so we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Square hole gets bigger, and we get moss for free. And that looks good. Now we're going to go check the villager farm to see if we have any bone meal. This thing is horrifically inefficient, but hopefully we have at least half a stack because this build calls for 64, so hopefully we're in a good spot. Looks good. Doesn't really work well for bone meal. Get tons of wheat, though. Don't worry about the grossness down here. That may get fixed one day, and we actually have enough. So that's exciting. So the rest of the items are pretty boring and mundane to get, so let's not concern ourselves with that, and we'll walk over and get right to building. So we have our shulker boxes full of everything we need to build this farm, and with that being said, let's go into super fast build mode and get it rolling. As you can see, it is now done. I did add this really ugly hopper system to get the bone meal into the tree farm, but this will all soon be covered up by our magnificent tree, which is going to be the main attraction of the city. And now that that's in working order, let's go start gathering the materials for this tree. I have such a clear vision and idea of how I want to build this, so we're going to start by sitting in my basalt farm for, I don't know, a couple hours probably. I don't know yet. And that should be good. I have a couple chests and shulkers full, but now I know we just built a tree farm, but unfortunately it doesn't do pale oak. So we are going to go to the pale oak forest and collect some of that. Now, after just a little bit of time playing, we have all of the blocks that we are going to need. We have a shulker and some extra of pale oak, and we have quite a few of basalt. This tree is going to be very unique, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. So with that being said, let's get building. As you can see, I have this giant tree behind me, and I absolutely hate it. It is way too big, and I can make it way smaller and look way better. This is part of the problem in my process of building stuff without references or without building it creative first. So we're going to take it all down and restart from square one. I have a feeling this is going to be a common theme throughout my series, that me taking down builds that took me a lot of time is going to happen, because I always do it. Now that the first takedown is done, we are going to go and restart this, make it a slightly more compact build. I think it's going to look a little bit better, but I wanted to show you guys that I did actually build and take down instead of just cutting that from the video, because I wanted to show you that my process isn't infallible, and there are ways that it doesn't work out perfectly, but I still prefer this method. As we start out here, I liked the old concept, I just didn't like the size and shape. So now we're going to fix those, address those issues, and continue building here. So now, as you can see, we got a little bit better of a scenario going. It looks a little bit better now. You can see some more shape and roots coming down. I think it's going to look a little bit better as we go up. But with that being said, let's get right back into it. Hey, so, you know that story of Icarus flew too close to the sun? Yeah, that's me right now. I had too big of an idea, and I actually hate it. I think it looks terrible. I don't find a way this is going to look like a tree or even go in with the city. So we're going to make another factory here, and it's going to be big. It's going to be cool, but this sucks. I'm sorry for leading you on. And with that being said, let's break this down and build a factory. Also broke the moss farm during this, so don't know how I'm going to fix that. Now you're going to be able to see me destroy absolutely hours of work for me, but it's all worth it. At the end of the day, I'm very happy with where the build's going. You can see we have a garage door going. We have good texturing. We're going to have depth and layering in this. It's going to look a lot better than what the tree would have. As you can see, we have a much better start to this build now. The factory is coming along phenomenally, and I'm really happy with where we're at. We're going to keep building this, but I wanted to tell you guys that this is part of my process. I don't plan my builds. I said that at the beginning, so sometimes it does inherently make me have to take down builds and rebuild. I'm leaving the edits in there because I want you guys to understand that my process is not infallible at all, but I'm loving this current build, so let's get back to that. So we finished the main structure of the building. Now what we are going to do is we are going to go through and we are going to texture it. We are going to make the roof look a little better, and we are going to add some of our patented generators that I have been working on in my other places, and you're going to see that come full circle here. As you can see here, I don't do anything special for texturing here. I'm just throwing in other blocks just so it's not one color palette, and that way it looks a little bit weathered. This is going to be a similar generator to what you've seen around the world already. I like to build these just going upwards however I feel fit. I know it has to be a certain height to cover the TNT duper. I also did 2 deep campfires to show more smoke. Now that the generator at least base is done, this is what we're looking at. And I did 2 rows of the campfires, one a little bit higher to give it that deep smoke effect, and I'm loving that. And I know it looks like a box on top of a box right now with a little bit of misplaced wood. Trust me, that is not going to be the case. We are going to build a lot more. We have pipes to build on it, we have texturing to do, and we have machines to put around and things to make it look a little bit better as a whole, but this is just the start. Let's get going on these final parts. This is something I'm so excited to build. I've been waiting so long to get this functional in my world, and these are going to be the Mumbo style fans. As you can see here, struggling with redstone, it's actually really simple. It's just repeaters ticking each other and doing that continuously. But what that gives you is one of the cleanest looking fans possible, and once I get the grates over top of it, I'm obsessed. Now that we have the generator finished, I need to add something up here, and we are going to add a ton of detailing to the side of these builds. We have all the blocks that we need to get this rolling and looking beautiful. So without further ado, here we go. So I have this idea for the roof that I'm going to build things that look like these 3. Build 3 of them up here, a little bigger, a little wider, and then I'm going to have the pipes coming down from there to here, and then we'll have some of the pipes connecting over there. I want to do the same kind of thing on the back, but I can't show you guys on camera because all you hear is the trapdoors of the fans the entire time, so I don't want to put you through that. We are going to mirror that color palette, so I brought these shoulders up just to have a couple extra blocks and make sure this looks good. So I've got dirt down to mark out the middle of each of where these are going to be, and I'm going to start building around them and trying to mirror some of what I built on that previous one, but at a larger scale so we can get a better view of what it'll look like. And you'll be able to see it from the ground, and of course the best view of the house in the square hole. I'm getting a good start here. I'm starting the base for all three, and I'm going to continue to build up one of them to make sure I like it before I copy it over to the other sides, but this is how I typically build when I know I'm going to copy something. We got this first module done. I like the way it's looking, and this little piece back here is where we're going to run the pipes up and connect them to the main power source. So let's duplicate this 2 more times and get it all connected. I'm going to start by building up the other 2 modules, but then after that, I'm going to add these pipes. I like building them because they had a good amount of depth, and you can build each one in a unique shape, but they still look like they're cohesive. As you can see from a distance, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and I am so happy that we got this moving in the right direction. So now let's add some detail to the sides, to the back, make everything kind of come together a little bit better, and we'll be wrapping that up. With the detailing, I really like to just kind of go after it and add machines, things that make the build feel like it's part of real life. I like the copper pipes, I like the fans, and even on this side, I put a little crane. I think it looks really good and adds good detail. And now, as you can see, as the detailing is finished, it looks absolutely amazing, besides the fact that there is a beacon and a bunch of dirt in and out of the way. So, what we're going to do is get rid of that. As you can see with the terraforming, same concept as before, just keeping the natural shape of the world, making sure the world fits around the build, not vice versa. As you can see, it adds a ton of depth and texture to the city. I really, really like the way that this came out. I think it hides the farm beautifully. So before we end this episode, let's go get one last look at what this farm looks like and how we built it. I'm super proud of this build. I'm really excited for the future of this. I have huge plans for episode 2, and I also apologize for continuously saying but so you can see and the entire episode. This is my first episode, first time recording, first time editing, so please take it easy on me in the comments. And if you liked this, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe because there will be a lot of these coming in the near future. And thank you.